All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Life, liberty, and the
If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear.
Make America great again.
The Big Mig.
Good morning and welcome back to the Big Mig Show. I'm your host, Lance Miliaccio, with my co-host, George Ballantine. Rise and grind, of course, tip of the spear, because it's better to be hurt by the truth than comforted with a lie. You know, that's the plan each and every episode on this show. We're going to try to educate and unify the country because, well, you know what? This isn't mainstream media. If you're looking for lies, you're at the wrong spot. Good morning, George Ballantine.
Good morning,
What's
there.
up, bro? How are you, man?
I'm fucking peachy.
Peachy.
I'm just bringing Schwartz in to the mix
The
here.
Schwartzeroni. First of all, I want to thank Dr. Mike Schwartz for rating the show. Welcome the Schwartzeroni listeners and subscribers. Dr. Michael Schwartz, the busiest guy in show business. This guy is just all over the place, hanging out with superstar pro athletes. And I don't know, how are you still doing your schooling with all this? I want to know, how's that law school going?
A little behind this week, Lance, and I apologize. I text you, I think yesterday or the day before about the radio, and I said, I hope Lance isn't upset. I got so much crap going on. Yesterday I was in New York, and then next week I'm somewhere, so it's nonstop, and I apologize. It's too much to keep a schedule. No, and I get it. Thankfully, George has graciously agreed to fill in for you while you're not able to do the radio show with me, you know. And it's great. He's such a pro at it. It's an easy transition. So having both of you guys available, well, thank you, George, for the show is unbelievable. So we appreciate. I know we're all busy. We're all just trying to grind out a living. Yeah, sure.
Hold up. He just said thank you, George. Nah, you're in the red, bro.
Why am I in the red?
You're in the red because I got to do it for 2 weeks now. I got to fill in for you.
Well, I mean,
you're in the red.
Technically, I've been filling in for you.
No, you're not technically filling in for me. I was done. You gracefully chose to take that role, so that's on you.
Well, I mean, I am filling some big shoes. I've seen your sneakers are pretty. I would have like a size 12. So don't you have over there?
I'm size 11. What are you talking about?
Big feet, George. Yes, big feet. What do they say about guys with big feet? Right? Big socks. Big socks.
I'm size 11.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact,
anyway,
it's coming to that time of month. When you guys coming down? When is Kelly coming down?
I don't know. I think it's next weekend. I think she said she's at the hospital this weekend. I can't keep up with my own schedule, and then I have to keep up with her schedule. And then like she'll tell me stuff, and then the next day I'll ask her, and she'll go, "I just told you that." And I like hour by hour. That's kind of how I go, not day by day.
Yeah, you've been slammed. All right, before we kick it off, of course, you guys know the drill. Hit that follow button. If you're here, don't forget to follow over the Dr. Michael Schwartz show also. Of course, great show, great guy that does a lot of great work. We appreciate whenever he comes on Friday. We always have a good time doing this because, it's Friday, bitches. Of course, if you'd like to sponsor the show, it's info@thebigmig.com. We love our sponsors. We love our gold and silver, and that's why we work with the guys over at Genesis Gold Group. It's the 62.2 gram prepper bar, perforated and very easily broken down in your choice of 3 separate distinct denominations. Of course, it fits a multitude of needs, whether it be asset protection from inflation, diversification, economic turmoil, or in the case of the prepper bar, it's very unique utility for barter and trade. It's a perfect gift. Nobody doesn't like gold and silver at these prices. And with the way the economy is going, you definitely want to have some on hand. And the prepper bar is something you should put into your arsenal. Because, of course, you can see you just snap off a small piece to make a payment. The good news is the guys at Genesis Gold Group are also going to send you an assay report. That is so important nowadays because there's so much counterfeit gold and silver coming out. You got to be careful, especially if you're over there buying gold and silver on eBay. I've heard a lot of horror stories recently. Exclusively mined and minted in the great US of A. They're always selling out fast, but they just got a big restock in both gold and silver. They've got them on hand. They're available. Get some before you don't have the opportunity to do so. You never know when you might want to have a backup plan. Go to genesisgoldgroup.com. That's right, genesisgoldgroup.com. Or you can call them at 888-526-7154, 888-526-7154. And don't forget to tell them the Big Mig Show sent you. Now, remember, you can also do IRA investment, 401k. And if you want to do large bulk purchases of gold or silver, you can get discounts. Talk to Keith Height directly. He's the man in charge, and he'll be joining us on Monday here on this show. We're going to be talking about some of the big moves on gold and silver, what's going on with the economy, and maybe give you some predictive modeling for what you should be doing with your own finances. The Big Mig Show will have Keith Height here Monday, and of course, GenesisGoldGroup.com.
Hey, Lance, you're too close. Zoom, what is it, out or in, whatever?
Oh, my head is more gigantic than normal. Yes, I'll do that. Okay. All right. Well, listen, a lot going on in the news cycle as always. Just here a little.
Yeah, dude, we got Islamic Jihad in Michigan. That's what we got going on. It's like a full freaking takeover over there. And, you know, there's going to be a couple things we're going to be talking about some part with their elections. Then some part, there's supposed to be this big demonstration coming up soon. And the Dearborn police chief is panicking over there. I heard there's groups coming from other states coming in. I heard one thing that they got money together to get like a trailer of pigs just to release them in the streets. I don't know if that's true or not.
Did they really?
But I seen a video of it. Of the they're talking about it.
They're going to be airdropping bacon. Is that what you're saying?
Airdropping. Just there's a trailer of pigs in it, and it has an accident and the door's open. Yeah, it's an accident. You know, shit happens.
What he was saying. Any of these places they're building mosques. I guess there's this trend now where people are getting pig bones and pig remnants, and they're going into the areas that the mosque wants to break ground, and they're dropping the remnants of the pigs.
I mean,
not recommending it, but it's an interesting take on what people's strategies are across the country.
Here's another one. You could just, like, whoever owns the land around it, just open up some pig farms around it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pig
buddy.
Farm. Is that what it's called? Is it called a pig farm? Is that what they call that? I don't know.
It's a pig farm. If you have pigs and you're farming pigs, it's a pig farm. Yeah. What do you think it is?
I don't know.
It's a big, beautiful bovine heaven. That's what it is. Well, no, bovine is cows, right? What's pigs? I always get
porcine.
Porcine? I don't know.
Porcine is pig.
Porcine.
Bovine is a cow.
Cow.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Well, I caught myself right away. I just thought it sounded good. So.
Well, anyway, I'm not a fan of this hard Islamic push. Now they're taking, I don't know if you heard this, Mike, they're taking Texas students as class trips to mosques.
Oh, God.
But, they're not taking them to temples. They're not taking them to churches, but just mosques. They're just going to show them the mosques. I don't understand this. What the hell has happened to Texas? I used to think Texas was the reddest of the red. Everything was bigger in Texas. For you people in Texas, have you guys heard this, where they want to take your kids to mosques because they want to show them what Islam and Muslims, the religion, is all about? I would be, listen, I could understand it if it would also included a trip to a Jewish temple and it included a trip to a Catholic church, a Christian church. If they were going to expose them to Buddhism and the whole bit, and they were just trying to say, these are all the religions you should be aware of, or these are all the religions that are common in the United States. But that's not what they're doing. It's a one-sided, only Islam tour. What do you think, Mike?
I think, I saw that headline the other day. We're talking about McKinley. Is it McKinley or McKinney, Texas, where they approved it?
I think it's McKinney.
But I sat on two different zoning boards in two different towns, and I understand the law, and you can't discriminate on having somebody build a facility like that just because of a religion. But then when you see, when you see that and you understand the law and you go, okay, fine, I get it. Like you can't. We have the same problem in Ocean County, New Jersey. We have a huge Hasidic community, Jewish Hasidic community, and have literally taken over certain areas.
What about the Hindu community there? The biggest that too you have.
Yeah, that's in Robbinsville. That thing you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
Whatever that, it's fine. Jaden wanted to go see it, so Jaden and Kelly took her right out to go see this thing. It was kind of crazy, but when you see the students now being forced to kind of indoctrinate into that stuff, what do they do it under, Lance? Is it under the guise of I don't know, inclusiveness, where they want you to feel like they're being cultural and they're showing everybody that, oh, look, this is another culture. We want to expose you to it. But you're right. It should be every culture, because you're picking one over the other.
Yeah, I don't think it's reasonable if you just go to the mosques I think it sets a very bad precedent because it's being selective, right? It's almost racially organizing their education. If they were going to take them to a mosque one day and a temple the next day and a Christian church and a Catholic church and a Buddhist temple or whatever they thought was on, then I wouldn't have as big a problem with it because I think, okay, well, we're educating our kids. They're getting an opportunity to see all the choices. I think it's odd that they're only doing it like that. I also think it's odd it's happening in Texas. But my problem is whenever I see something getting force fed, right? Whenever I see our kids getting groomed in one direction or another, I take real offense to that. I have a real problem with it. George, I mean, what are your thoughts? I'm not comfortable with this simply because it's a one-sided, field trip, right? And again, I wonder, were all the parents notified? Is McKinney, Texas? Is it such a big Islam community? I don't know.
Were they notified, and were they notified on the true intent of where they were going? That's just two questions and need to be answered. Look, like Mike was just saying, you go to South Jersey, you have a big Jewish community, fine. You have a big Indian community. They're communities, but they are not forcing anything on other people.
Well,
what? Are Hindus forcing Hinduism on people?
No, it's different. It's, and I hate to say, I don't like to talk about this outside of the local sphere because locally, if you are from Ocean and Monmouth County, you understand what's going on down here. And I can't, it's going to sound really bad if I say it on a national level, but I want you to try to understand.
Say it, bro.
There's a huge Hasidic community in Lakewood, New Jersey, and they've literally taken out, like, it's so bad. When I say bad, I mean they have quintupled the population in that city, and the county itself can't handle all of the infrastructure for it. We don't have enough water, roads, like you name it. It's gotten really bad. And what happens is, so you've got these other communities that are like, Gentile communities, non-Jewish community. And when I say Jewish, I mean Hasidic. It's different. I have a friend of mine.
I get the difference. George is in New Jersey. I grew up in New York. Of course, we're very familiar with the Hasidic.
All right. So to break it down for the audience, I have a friend who's Orthodox, and I asked the guy, I said, what do the Hasidic Jews think of the Orthodox? And he goes, oh, they hate us. And I said, why? He goes, because we're not Jewish enough for them. I said, so what do the Orthodox think of people like us? He goes, you don't even exist to them. Now, you see it when you go into stores like Target or wherever, and if somebody bumps into you, they don't turn around and say, excuse me. They just keep walking, which is weird. It's like the weirdest thing. Like, they don't even, and then people will try to say they're nice. Now, George, where you said they don't force stuff on the communities, I have a family that I knew that lived in a retirement area in Lakewood, New Jersey. And as the Jewish Hasidic community started moving in, they got enough population where they changed the bylaws in that community. So one of the things they changed was the swimming rules. If you think this is a thing, look it up, because New Jersey 101.5 just did a story on this week where people are pissed off because they bought these community, or they bought a home years ago thinking they were going to retire, and then they got overtaken by the Hasidic community, and the Hasidic community comes in and says, well, we don't let our men and women swim at the same time. So they have certain times for men and certain times for women. And they start to then impose their rules on the non-Jewish community. And you start to see what that looks like in a while. So when you say they don't impose certain things, they do kind of want you to assimilate into their way of thinking.
I got a comment.
All right. Maybe I should have said,
first of all, if somebody's going to tell me when I can swim on a community that I'm paying the fees and the taxes to have access to that pool. No, I'm not. It's not going to happen. In fact, I'd probably go to the pool in a thong, and I would probably go during the women's time period.
But they have the HOA land, so then they fine you. And then you've got people now taking them to court, and you've had some favorable court rulings on it, because obviously it doesn't sound very constitutional. But when you have somebody take over the HOA and they can change the bylaws, you're screwed. You're paying.
And I got to tell you.
Okay, wait. Time out.
Let me finish.
No, because you interrupted me. We're talking about this. You want to talk about being in a bikini in a pool.
Yellow, purple, white. If somebody bumps into
me, man,
and they don't say pardon me or excuse me, they're going to get checked. I don't give a fuck what their religion is. I don't give a fuck who they are.
I can't.
When I doesn't say pardon me, they're going to get checked.
When I talk about this outside of New Jersey, they almost look at us like, what are you, Hitler? And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's not what you think. It's not an anti-Semitic thing. And when you drive through Lakewood, New Jersey right now, it looks like a giant mess. I mean, there's a garbage everywhere. Even the schools. I had an event with their school system years ago, and the schools were telling me they have to bus their kids separately. So they bus, because you got to remember the Jews go to school in their own schools, and then they have the regular public schools. But the busing is all, I forget how they do it, but what they do is they bus the boys separate from the females. So they have 2 bus routes for that. And then they have to have a separate bus route for the regular non-Jewish kids. And then they have to have 2 other bus routes at the end of the day. So instead of having just, two bus times, going and coming, they have 5. It destroys the school system too. They're out of money. It's kind of crazy when other cultures make everybody else assimilate to their way of living.
And then that's a problem, that we shouldn't assimilate to their way of living. They should assimilate to our way of living. But like you said, the HOA. Well, where are all the people that are non-Jewish that are in that community? How come they didn't stay on the board or fight to be on the board?
They can, but when the Jewish community gets more than 50% of the homes sold in there, they take over the HOA. And all these communities, Lakewood, forget it. Lakewood 100% is a Hasidic community. It's so all the folks that were trying to fight this for years, George, have just given up and moved out. Toms River, New Jersey, where I grew up, there was a great area called North Dover, North Toms River, where the beautiful houses, everybody wanted. That was like what everybody aspired to live to. And then, the Jewish community started getting out of Lakewood because it's got so overcrowded that they started going into the surrounding towns. Toms River is one of them, Brick's another one, Jackson's another one. So they just keep multiplying, but they all have like 8 kids. And it's crazy. They're in these what you see areas down here. I've got to take you for a ride one day down here, George. You got to come to my neck of the woods. I'll show you Ocean County that used to just be like, open space. And they just keep building these row houses, multifamily houses, one on top of the next to accommodate, because their goal is to try to make up for what they lost during the Holocaust. So they tell every family to have like 8 kids. And I know it sounds weird, like I said, to people across the country. It's a very localized issue here. And if you saw it in action, you'd go, what is going on? They went from 50,000 people, I think, till now they're like close to 250,000 people just in this one town. And it's like, it's overtaking the entire county. It's crazy to watch in real time.
Wow. Yeah, it's tough. But I think that, and you're right. I know that what the Orthodox Jews think and the Hasidic Jews, I know they've got this belief system of where we fit in the scale, the non-Jews, of course. Even though I'm Jewish, I'm not a practicing Jew, so that's part of it. But
you're what they would call a Reform Jew, right?
I guess.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
A Reform Jew?
I didn't find out I was Jewish till my mom ran her DNA about 10 years ago now. We had no idea that my mom had she actually had the Jewish heritage in her DNA. I had no idea.
Well, like Jerry Seinfeld is a Reform Jew. You've got Hasidics, which is like the right, left wing, I guess I would call it. And then you got Orthodox, and then you got conservative, and then you got Reform. That's kind of how it goes on the scale. But like I said, the Hasidics hate everybody beneath it. Orthodox aren't too bad, and Reform Jews are just like everybody else we know, and in a regular Jewish community. They don't, they're American Jews.
I'm so confused right now. Who's the one with the hats and the curls?
So that would be
Hasidics
and or Orthodox. But when you see the bulk of it, it's Hasidic, and then some of the Orthodox will wear like the black,
And I know from the Hasidics or Orthodox Jews I've spoken to, there are a lot of them conservatives. Like they voted for Trump, and they even say why the Jews in New York City ain't voting for Trump.
It's when you watch,
sense, right? I mean, because of course our ally has huge inroads in our political community.
You watch
Israel.
But Lance,
why wouldn't every Jew in the United States? You would think they would all just vote conservatively for Donald Trump or for whoever was the conservative.
Number one, they don't think on their own. It's called the VOD, and the VOD tells the VOD is like the religious leaders who are in charge. Like you would think of like a Ayatollah. So the VOD in Lakewood tells them who to vote for, and traditionally, and I've watched this over the last 30 years of running campaigns, they vote for one Democrat and one Republican. One Democrat and one. That's how they do it locally. It's the weirdest thing, but they tell them who to vote for, and they come out overwhelmingly that community and vote for whoever the VOD tells them to vote for. They don't think on their own independently.
Lance, Craig Mutley says, Lance will walk into the pool during Jewish ladies only hour with a U.S. flag thong on and a boombox on his shoulder blaring the thong song.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't do that. I don't like. Listen. I've always been a little bit when it came to the rules or the laws. I've always felt like things were flexible, but I don't like being told what to do, especially when things have been a certain way for a very long period of time. I moved into a community and the HOA was one way, and now they're going to tell me that I have to change myself because of their religious beliefs. I'm not arguing with them. They should be able to practice their religion. I'm okay with that. But when they start trying to force feed me their belief system, or they force feed me my lifestyle, then I have a problem with it. And I can say this: there's no excuse. I don't give a fuck who you are for being rude.
I have a question.
You bump into somebody, I don't care who it is.
I have a question.
Say, excuse me, pardon me, apologize. You know, I was raised in the kind of community when I was raised in the Fordham Road in the Bronx. You know, we were taught manners. You know, we were supposed to say thank you and pardon me and hi, Mrs. Kalapa, and how are you? It wasn't you just, you know, ignored people. And I think that kind of behavior, I think any kind of behavior, like, listen, that's one of the reasons I have a problem with is Islam.
In the HOA, can you walk around on the sidewalks in a thong whenever you want?
I would assume you can.
Lance,
I mean, as long
what size American thong do you need?
extra. Well, in the package area or?
Oh, here we go.
Man, I thought George was the one that had big shoes.
Well, maybe I should get one that says home of the Whopper. Maybe we should get a thong.
Mandingo says you got to be twerking too.
I've kind of liked the elephant trunk one too. Have you seen the one with the elephant trunk? The thong with the elephant trunk you can wear, you know, spice things up at home. I don't know. You know, we'll have to think about that. But my point is this, that I don't like being force-fed things. And I'll tell you this, the reason I have a problem with the Islamic religion is because I was there. I saw it in Northern Africa. I saw it in the Middle East. I saw the behavior. You know, I saw Sharia law in action. You know, listen, everybody knows I'm an animal person. You know, I'm definitely a big animal person. I'm definitely a big dog person. I've seen their behavior towards animals, specifically dogs. I've seen their behavior towards their children and the women. And I can tell you, there was many times I was looking through the crosshairs of a scope. And, you know, there were some times I made decisions that weren't authorized, but there were other times that I wanted to make decisions and couldn't do it. And I can tell you that these, in general, and I'm talking about the extremist side of the Islam religion, Muslims, the way they think, I don't think there'll ever be a time when they'll be completely integrated into our society in a way that we can all live side by side. I think that's impossible. What do you think, Mike? You think it's possible to live next to Islam, next to the Muslim religion? Do you think it's
no?
possible?
I think, and I'm just going to be honest, because in theory it is, but in practice, in reality, it seems the answer is no, because you know, they always try whatever it is. You know, same thing with like a regular homeowners association, right? I mean, I got a lot of liberals that live here, and you can kind of see like everybody kind of ganging up. A crowd attracts a crowd, right? And people like-minded people. So you got one person who moves into a community, then the next people move into a community, then they go, hey, you remember back home? You got to remember, you're not living back home. You're living with us now. You live in the United States of America. You need to learn how to assimilate. And I think this comes from, you know, the lowest common denominator. We keep letting people in here, not like we did back in the day when we asked them to have a job and be productive in society and assimilate, learn the language. Now we just let people in and go, we don't care, come here. You know, we got everything for you. And they don't care about the culture of this country. So theoretically, maybe the answer is yes, but in practice, Lance, I think it's no. And I think that's been proven because people come here and take advantage of everything. If they don't care about the country they're coming to, they're not going to care about what you and I are used to in this country.
You know, I think it's important that when you're talking about these kind of things, I would tell people to read the Book of Muhammad. Just read it. Really, and read it and pay attention. There are a lot of books. They do a side-by-side you can get where it'll explain what that is saying, because some of it's worded in a way that you might not be able to identify. So you can read the side-by-side. I did years ago, just like I read the Red Book of Mao. I think it's important because then you'll understand the ideology of that religion. You'll understand the ideology of the people. It's easy enough to listen to us and go, oh, well, I don't know. These guys, you know, they might be Islamophobic. I'm not Islamophobic. I'm phobic to behavior that I know is not going to align with our own principles. When I see a religion, just like the Chinese, I've said that they're the biggest national security issue we have, because the Red Book of Mao is very simple. They'll take a centimeter if it takes them 10 years to move forward. It's just the constant move forward of propelling what they want to get done, right? And I'm talking about communist China and what the leadership there wants to do. I got to point this out since I just brought that up. Did anybody see how this individual who's tied directly to CCP intelligence, he also has a background in sniper training, bought the SEC building 650 feet away from the White House? Did you guys see this story?
What, the what building?
It's the old SEC building. He paid $8.4 million for it through his company group. Does anybody believe that a guy directly linked to the Communist Chinese intelligence organization should be within 650 feet of the White House? And he also has a background in sniper training. I'm not suggesting this is an assassination attempt. I'm suggesting that we've allowed a Communist Chinese directly connected individual to buy a building. And does anybody believe?
First of all, we didn't allow shit.
Well, there's no doubt, but in such close proximity, does anybody believe that we could do that we could buy a building in China that close to an institution as important as the White House? Does anybody in our ends believe that they would ever allow somebody like myself, who has a background that if they checked into it, they wouldn't be thrilled about, or somebody else in the intelligence groups? Do you think they would let me buy a building 650 feet away from maybe one of their proletariat buildings, one of their communist intelligence buildings, maybe where the leadership was housed? Does anybody think that's even possible?
But what's the criteria, Lance? We don't vet people when they're buying buildings. We just ask them, can you afford it? That's it. We don't, there's no criteria for that.
It's like farmland next to
I was just going to say that.
Location. Yeah.
George,
what do you think?
They let the fucking Chinese, they let the communist Chinese buy farmland next to our bases. So
I think they should refund the money, give the money back to them, and tell them there's no fucking way we're letting you do this. I don't understand why it hit the news today. I can't believe that they're not just flipping out about this. How do you let somebody be that close to the White House that has a background directly connected to communist leadership? I don't get it.
Scary stuff. Lance, I was in New York yesterday. I see my wife in the chat because my wife made me go because I'm not a big go to New York kind of guy. And I felt very uncomfortable for a lot of the time there, but I was wearing my No Woke Zone shirt. George, you live closer to New York than I do. And I go in like once a year. I don't know how often you go in, but the New York New York is getting worse and worse and worse and worse the more we go. And you're talking about all these other communities and people assimilating. Like New York is almost like a free-for-all. There's people just smoking pot in the street. You smell it wherever you go. It smells like crap. There's people on top of people that, New York, to me, like I've seen the change over the last 30 years, 40 years, going there as a kid. And now when I go to New York, when I was thinking about it yesterday, I was like, this is Donald Trump's New York, right? Like Donald Trump, loved New York, but now 99% of the people that live in that city won't ever vote for us. They hate us. They were sneering at my No Woke Zone shirt. So even Americans,
I was going to ask you, how did that go over in New York? How was it popular?
Not well. I said on my show, normally when I wear that shirt out, normally I get somebody that winks at me and goes, hey, nice shirt, buddy. I get that. I didn't get any of that yesterday. I did get a bunch of sneers from women in Birkenstocks. I did get a couple people like looking at it, trying to figure out, like, I was like, can you read? Because they're like looking at it. They're not sure. And I was
have hairy legs.
Yeah, it was a lot of septum rings. You just feel like it's not my chat. Let's put it that way. I mean, I'm sitting there, none of these people watch the show. None of these people know who I am and could care less. None of these people have read my book.
Was your wife happy that you wore that shirt?
My stepson wasn't. He's like, you're always trying to embarrass me. It's like, he didn't say that, but that's what he thinks. He's like, you could have picked a different shirt. Just wear a regular shirt. Try not to attract attention. And then, and I embarrassed my stepson. I want to do it.
American thong. You should have worn a flag thong with the shirt if you really wanted to embarrass him.
Well, when my stepson tells me I'm embarrassing him, I kind of want to do it more. So,
I would.
Okay. Let's double down on this, but no, I got a lot of sneers yesterday with that shirt. I was the only one in New York wearing that. I was the only one, I guess, that had balls enough to wear it. And when we went to Canal Street, as I call it, Anal Street, to go look at the bags, you had like Haitian groups selling bags. You had Chinese groups, the Asians selling, they all like had a block and the cops weren't doing anything. At one point, Kelly goes, the cops are shutting it down. I go, no, they're not. The cops are just standing there making sure everybody was fine. Mandani doesn't shut any of that down.
Are you,
so wait a minute, Lance.
Were you looking at the AAA bags?
Hold on.
What were you looking at, Mike? Were you going to where they
Mike, were you carrying?
No, I can't carry in New York. I can carry.
So let me understand this correctly. You had your beautiful wife with you. You wore a shirt that may invoke feelings among some people that they could possibly harass you and your wife. So you put your wife in danger. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, my wife's never in danger. She had me. They would have come after me. She could have run. I wore that shirt, George, to distract from my wife so that they'd come after me and she could get away.
Mm-hmm.
So, George.
She can't run, by the way. By the way, we're going next Sunday, she said, to breakfast.
Okay.
So, George, what's up? I mean, would you feel the same way about New York? Are you getting the same? Because you have all the shirts in the world. that have all sorts of slogans that I know would be very unpopular with hairy-legged Birkenstock septum ring multicolored hair women. And I'm sure a lot of the other grungy guys wouldn't be happy with most of your shirts. You usually wear one of those shirts. And George, when was the last time you went to New York? It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a minute, hasn't it?
The last time I went to New York, I couldn't even tell you. I try to stay away from going over there. I think the last time I was there was for maybe an event or something where I was wearing a suit. So would I wear one of my shirts in New York if I'm with me? If I don't have somebody that I might be worried about? Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Thanks, George. I see what you're trying to do there.
Mike, that's just me.
Way threw that down, Mike. He just buried
that's just me because there are altercations happen where I had, let's say, my girlfriend with me, and they try to get in the middle and something, and it creates havoc. Then God forbid they get hit. No.
Midtown isn't that bad. Like Midtown up by Rockefeller Center, Times Square, not that bad, even though it's a shit show. Where we went down Anal Street to go looking for, handbags and shit. What a nightmare. It's like a totally separate world. And then if you walk 5 blocks north into Soho, it's like, it's beautiful. But
Soho's nice. Yeah. Canal Street's cool to go shopping and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm taking you next time. You see what I saw. Holy crap. My God. You felt very uncomfortable. I
haven't been there in a long time, so I don't know. Yeah.
Well, Lance, right? So surveillance.
He hasn't been there either in a long time. What are you talking about? He knows.
But no, I'm bringing Lance into this for a reason. So surveillance and counter surveillance, right? It's time, it's distance, and frequency, right? So I got a guy, as soon as we got off the cab, I got a guy who made contact with us immediately, who now is my sales rep. It's like walking into Raymore and Flanagan. He's the broker, right? So now he's following us for blocks. Now I've seen him on multiple times at close distance, so the frequency is there, and I'm like, okay, is this guy trying to mark us for something now? Because I'm like,
he was following you.
He was following us, trying to help us as our sales rep, but
where is this at?
On Canal Street.
Oh, Canal Street.
And I've actually had that exact experience because he wants to know. He's going to direct you. Are you looking for Hermes? Are you looking for Chanel? Are you looking for the AAAs, or are you just trying to buy a bag? They'll try to kind of direct you, George, because I actually had that experience.
I know.
I want to say this. They are somewhat helpful because if you want to get the AAA counterfeit bag, right? If you're going for
they're going to take you in the back rooms and stuff. That's what they're there for.
They got the garbage in the front, but if you want the super high quality, stuff that really almost is an exact, and I believe that probably a lot of these bags are coming out of the same factories, of course, because the cost for these bags is not anything like when they put it in the store. $35,000. You can buy a AAA, Hermes. Say you wanted the alligator bag, you might pay $1,000 for a bag. That bag sells for $150,000 at Hermes.
Well, we had bags yesterday where, Kelly's bargained into $100. And when we went into Saks Fifth Ave yesterday to look at some of the stuff, same bag, $1,400. And Kelly feels it, same exact material, same exact printing. And you can't tell.
Listen, you can't tell. They even come with the cards. They come with the boxes. They come with everything. And I've seen some bags that I would bet money are coming out of the exact location where these big, luxury brands buy their bags. Because if you put them side by side, and I have done that. I put it, you can't tell at all. It's impossible. Now, again, that's at the highest level because they have an A level, they have a B level. And then, of course, the Haitians sell mostly the D stuff, the stuff that you can kind of see, but you might be able to tell if you looked at it closely, but if you're just walking by, you wouldn't know. I mean, listen, luxury goods are a scam. There's no doubt.
Oh, I got offered.
Is ridiculous. They think about it. A purse, a leather purse, the base model is $35,000 at that store.
It's crazy.
You go to Chanel, a small clutch.
How much are they in Canal Street now, Mike? Like a purse like that.
How much are they? If you're Kelly, you get it at rock bottom prices. Kelly, I tell you, the first little clutch she bought, the guy said 85. Kelly goes, no, 40. He goes, okay. He goes, 65. She goes, no, 40. And then, they kept going down and down. And he goes, all right, 45. And he hands it to her. And she goes, no. And she goes, I told you 40. And she walked away. And then the guy's, come here. And he gives it to her for $40. So she got it from 85 to 40. And it was one bag that Jaden wanted for 200. And she talked him down to 100. Kelly's a great negotiator. But in the same time, I'm like, you're going to get us killed. I mean, it was Haitians.
It's negotiating. That's the way they are. Haitians are like that.
No. I don't mind the negotiating part. I didn't like the surrounding and, because people, they're looking at every little thing.
Situational awareness clock was going off. That would
absolutely
100%. They're clocking you. They also might be looking at you to see if you're paying in cash, if you have a lot of cash on you. you know, and of course they're also trying to size you up to see what kind of a buyer you are. Some of those brokers are, I want to say they're legit because nothing down there is legit, but those brokers are kind of legit because the stores pay them to hawk for them. They have them, you know, bring in a customer. If a customer spends this much, we'll pay you this much. So they look, especially you guys. I mean, you're put together. I'm sure your wife looked good, and I'm sure your son, knowing how he carries himself, they probably saw you and immediately thought, "Oh, here's money." I mean, they're going to smell money even with the T-shirt on. And I think most of those people could give a shit about your T-shirt.
Right? Yeah, they didn't.
They just want your money. They don't care.
No, I got more sneers in Midtown down there.
You know, you got to ask those street vendors. You got to ask them. Say, what do you think? Are you for Mendemi? Are you for socialism?
If I want to ask them anything, George. I want to get out of there.
If they say yes, and you go to the street vendor, well, do you know socialism? Are you okay with them someone telling you that you got to sell this bag for $40 instead of $60? And a lot of them will say, "Oh no, well that's socialism, buddy. The way you want to sell it for $60 is capitalism."
I didn't want to explain. They're all capitalists. I get it. I didn't want to explain socialism down there. They don't understand it. I'll tell you why they support him. I said it on my show this morning. The cops weren't shutting these guys down because they're a sanctuary city. They've already told everybody in the city that they're for the criminals. They don't care what crime you commit. If you're here illegally, they don't care. If you're smoking pot on the street, they don't give a shit.
If I committed a crime, they'd come after me though.
Well, yeah, because they have more guilt about going after them than they do after one of us.
I'd have to pretend like I'm an immigrant. What?
You'd have to talk in your Haitian accent. Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. That's a Jamaican accent. I have no idea what a Haitian accent is.
I just say, get Momo. That's in Haitian. Get Momo means go fuck yourself in Haitian.
They didn't, but Lance, they didn't care about my shirt there. It was all
they probably couldn't read it.
They probably couldn't read it, but it was all the snobby liberals in Midtown, you know, with the Birkenstocks on. I would look at my shirt and then sneer at you. Yeah. Oh,
I mean, that makes sense. Listen, I get it, you know, but of course, I think it's, you know, it's freedom of speech.
But isn't there still a lot of Chinese down there in Canal Street?
Yeah, it was, well, one block was Haitian. And then as soon as we went over toward Lafayette Street, that was all Chinese. And there were back rooms. They were people, they had menus. They had the McDonald's picture menus. So Kelly got handed a brochure that had a flip, it was almost like to go to the Cheesecake Factory, and it had all pictures on it. And she was looking through it, and they're like, well, if you want to see the good stuff, you know, you got to go inside in the back room.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to go in the back room. Nobody wants to go. Nobody knows what's waiting for you in the back room. So, you know, you're just, I don't know. I don't look.
Actually, the back rooms, I got to say, it's pretty legit. There's no scam. They're not looking to rob you.
They don't want that on their hands. They don't want that bad publicity.
Yeah. So the front room is where the lower cost items are. So I can tell you, Mike, honestly, I think the back rooms are safe. I've never heard of anybody, because they want you to come again and again and again, and they want you to tell your friends about it. They'll even say, hey, if you get a friend to come in here, we'll do this, we'll do that. Because the back room is where that's where their higher quality is, right? So I think you probably could have done that safely. I don't think you would have had to make.
I'm sure. I just don't like putting myself on or near the X. I like to get as far away from the X as possible. So if some shit's gonna happen, you just want to be away from it.
I mean, and that makes sense.
I should just make it. You know what? I should just make a service. Tell me what you want. I'll go over to get the bag and for fee and handling and all that, and then I'll ship it to you.
No, you should do it not for fee shipping and handling. You should do it for a service to the show. You could film it. I'll film it with you. I'll go with you.
No, bro, I want to do this for business. What are you talking about?
Meta glasses. You get the meta glasses. You go in there and you.
Why don't we film it, George? I'll do that. I'll go to New York and we can do a day and film it for the shows. I think it would be great.
I think it'd be a cool show. I mean, a lot of people don't know about Canal Street.
Okay, so you think they're going to let us in with a camera and go in the back room? You have to have hidden camera.
We could do hidden cameras.
Meta glasses, the red light comes on. They know you're recording and shit. And
you just cover the red light.
You can't. There's technology.
I'll get a hookup. All right, I'll get a camera hookup for us so that you can have one, I can have one, and we can go and undercover. And we'll go undercover on Anal Street, and we'll do a show.
I'll do it. Let's go, Lance. So. If you cover the light, it stops it from recording.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
George, we'll go get watches. You want to get a Rolex? We'll go get watches.
We'll get whatever.
Yeah, they've got clone watches, and I'll be honest.
I'll buy a nice purse and give it away on the show.
I've seen some AAA clone watches. Like I've seen a Daytona that was a clone that was high quality. I put it right next to a regular Daytona. The movement is sweep second, the whole bit. You could buy a stainless steel looking Daytona or stainless steel Submariner or a Yachtmaster, and I got to tell you, you can't tell the difference. The gold's a little trickier, even though on the AAA they're actually gold plated. So but the finish may eventually come off. But the stainless steel ones, I know a guy that's had one for years, and it's run flawlessly.
What?
And you can't tell the difference. AAA, but again, they've got different grades on the watches too. You've got electronic movements, and then you've got true self-winding, auto-winding movements, and the faces. And honestly, luxury goods are a scam. I'm not, this counterfeiting thing. I know the brands don't like it, but I understand the value of it for people because, of course, you can't tell. Look, you could have your wife with a Hermes bag that she paid AAA clone. You might pay $400 or $500, $600 for the AAA clone, maybe $800-900 depending on the material. If you go to Alligator or something, and you could have that Rolex Submariner, and nobody would probably know the difference.
Every single person in New York who's on social services that was walking around that area had a Rolex on, had designer bags, it's like So I think actually it would be that's what I thought of though.
Put them in Manhattan, you wouldn't necessarily know. Put them somewhere else in Soho, and they're walking around. And if they were well dressed, manicure, pedicure, and you wouldn't necessarily know for sure because some of the quality of those items are so identical that I don't think you can tell. And I bet you, if I was going to speculate, I'll bet you half of the luxury goods that people see, whether you're in Vegas, New York, LA, anywhere, big city,
sure,
Miami, I would bet at least half of those are all counterfeit. Because
I got a buddy of mine who's a pro baseball player, and he's got a site out of China that he gave to me, and he buys all his stuff there. He doesn't, he carries around the designer stuff, but it's not real. But he's not stupid enough to spend and waste the money on it when it's exactly the same thing. But George, I thought about that yesterday, and I'm serious because I did when I was looking at it. I kind of look at everything visually. And I'm looking at it going, I wish the show could see this because it was so interesting to transport yourself from whatever world you're living in, Murphy's Law, where everybody in the chat engine, Kit Kat, and you get to there and you see it. I think it would make for a great show. So if you want to go film something, George, I'm game.
Yeah, we can do it.
I think it's a great idea.
You just got to have hidden because, yeah. All right, let's get back to Michigan.
Yeah, how about Minnesota? Do you want to talk about that first, George, or do you want us to keep talking about Michigan?
I don't know.
You got a big story coming out of Minnesota.
Oh, is that Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota. The poll workers.
Why did I think it was Michigan?
I don't know. But Minneapolis polling booths.
I thought it was Michigan, dude.
What?
I thought it was Michigan. I don't know why I thought.
Oh, I don't know. But this is a big deal. James O'Keefe, once again, now he's an Islamic jihadist here. He's taking somebody in a burqa. He went undercover and he exposed that, of course, Minnesota poll workers are allowing voter vouching without ID, and they're allowed to up to 8. Who keeps count of the 8, George? Who allows to?
I don't know, but you got to give credit to also to Cam Higbee. He's the one that was in on this with James O'Keefe. He's dressed in
the burqa.
He's in the burqa, yeah.
Oh my God.
But how do you? So even if a woman's in a burqa, she goes to vote. How do you know who she is? She's all covered up.
I don't know.
Exactly. Let's play the video.
Maybe that's the play. Maybe you and Mike for this undercover video. One of you could wear the burqa, and the other one.
Mike's wearing a burqa.
You could flip for it, and you could go down there.
Now you know flipping. I just said Mike's wearing a burqa.
You could act like you're Saudi Arabian royalty, you know what I mean? Kind of walk down and have all the brokers just run. Mecca Lecca Hi, Mecca Heiny Ho. Okay, let's play this video.
Say that I'm vouching for them. The name is William Lawrence. The question about the vouching program, vouching. I can vouch for them, but they are not registered. That's okay. That's fine. Can I bring 5 more from up to 8 people? Okay, that's a good thing. We go back and we get Krishna and Ernesto and Mohammed. In Minnesota, you can show up on election day and vouch for up to 8 unregistered voters. Members of the Justice League dress up in traditional Muslim attire, including a transgender wearing a burqa, and put this vouching law to an extreme test on primary day, August 11th.
Gonna be a baller, shot caller, 20-inch blades on the Impala.
The vouching,
You're vouching for?
I vouch for them.
Oh, great.
Is that okay?
Yes.
How does that work?
Well, if you're all in the same precinct,
Yes.
and you are already registered, which it looks like you are, then you can vouch for them as ID for them.
Oh, good. She says to me, I says they do not need ID. She says, you are the ID.
He is the ID.
See, I am the ID. And no ID needed. I just vouch for them.
Well,
It's
you're
good.
the ID.
I am the ID. It's good. How many people may I vouch for?
What is it? It's
8?
I thought it was 6.
I can vouch for 8 people. 8 people, no ID. We come right back. Thank you. Most poll workers we visited were willing to let us vouch with no questions asked, even when presented with the most absurd situation imaginable. While other poll workers did take issue with our investigation, revealing their awareness that something about this vouching system is deeply flawed or wrong. Yet for some reason, they don't want us to.
You know what would have been funny? If in front of those ladies, if the, what's his name in the burqa, like tried to say something and then James O'Keefe being, went around and like either backhanded her or just like reprimanded her just to see their reactions.
Yeah, but think about this. So talk about something perfectly set up for fraud. Let's say you could find 50 people that were willing to do that vouching thing, and then you take the 50 times 8. This is incredible. And if this isn't corruption, if this isn't election interference, election fraud, I don't know what is, because you're the ID. And, for everybody out there, for anybody that's pushing back on the SAVE Act, they know about this stuff. You think that most of the people in Washington, D.C. didn't watch O'Keefe do this video, that they don't know this happened?
Oh, they know it's happened. They know.
You would think that all the congressional members, if they watch this, George, and then you comment and tell me what you think, if they saw this, you would think this would be reason enough to say, "Oh my God, we got to pass the SAVE Act." This is
this is an example of your state legislature and your state legislatures coming up with the laws that they think are fair because they want to be inclusive. So how things like this get on the books is because people go, well, you have these people we have to accommodate, and rather than trying to accommodate our culture, which we were talking about earlier, we're always trying to accommodate everybody else's culture, and then you open it up, which becomes ripe for fraud.
Or maybe reverse engineer it and say, we need a new fraud technique. Let's think of a new idea.
Hold on.
Let's scheme for some new, George, let's think of a way we can defraud.
Wait a minute.
On
Lance,
this next
stop.
election.
If I go there dressed regular, normal, will they let me vouch for 8 people?
If you're the registered voter in that precinct, yes.
And I just bring like you and Mike and Kelly and a bunch of people, I could vouch?
Yeah. Well, but we'd have to be registered. We're just saying if we didn't have our ID, right? It wouldn't just take my vote. I'd have to still be registered. I'd still have to tell them who I was.
Okay, so we just steal somebody, whatever names we're going to say you are, and say you're them.
There's a way to do that. There's a way to do that. And that's what I've talked about for years.
Yeah.
Well, running elections here, what we would always do is pull the voter database. And it's a long story, but the way we would target our voters is we always want to go after our base. You got to make sure your base gets out. So there's these concentric circles. We know who votes all the time. We know who somewhat votes, if they vote in the presidentials, and we know who never votes. So I can tell if Lance has been registered for 20 years but never votes, or Lance only votes in the presidential elections, but he never votes in anything else. I could safely go on a gubernatorial election, an off-year cycle, and vote for him, knowing that he's not going to also show up to vote that year where it's going to.
Or you can go first thing in the morning to vote and beat whoever you're trying to beat out and get the voting, because once your vote's in.
But then you have an issue. Then you open up an issue, because then that person does show up later and they say you already voted, and now you got a million people complaining that, and they take their provisional ballot. The best way to do it is to get the voter rolls, figure out who's least likeliest to show up at the poll, those 50 names, and then you and I go use those 50 names. It works all the time. Most of the time, that 100% of people don't come out in presidential elections.
When's the election this year? November what?
First Tuesday in November, whatever that is. But
are we going to Minnesota?
I don't know what it's like to pull the voter rolls in Minnesota. I can do them very easily here. I can show you how the fraud happens here in New Jersey. It's simple. Minnesota, I can go figure out the system, but it's not that hard to do.
But this is the problem.
Wait. How's the fraud happening here in Jersey?
The community level, the state level, the fraud just goes on and on and on and on and on. And, and to think that somehow our federal elections are safe, for anybody out there that doesn't agree with the SAVE Act, it's ridiculous. And anybody that's not voting for the SAVE Act already knows all this. And they're applying these same systems in every technique they can dream up. We heard from Greg Bovino that supposedly there's 107 million illegal immigrants in this country. if that's true, how many of those people do they have a list? And now these people are going to be used for this ghost voter pool where they're allowing illegal immigrants to allegedly have registered or otherwise not registered.
Hustus is in the chat, and he's been saying this for a long time. And I've been having a playful argument with him about this because he says we should all be voting via our pre-registered smart device and only one during a 24-hour period on election day, with the results being known on Wednesday. Now, I push back on that only because
that's his name, Hustusa, or is it like Hust USA?
It's Hustusa. That's how he goes. It's Hustusa. You can check it out.
I
I've been
believe
schooled on this. Anyway, so, but he's got a point because, when I was pushing back on this about, I don't like technology getting in the mix because you can manipulate that. Hustusa brought up a good point and said, look, you can secure a Bitcoin transaction. If you can secure a Bitcoin transaction, you should be able to secure a voting, trail.
Well, you have to do, we always said this on the blockchain. It's the blockchain technology. And if you did the voting like that, you would curb all that fraud. Exactly.
Right. So he's got a point, and I'm leaning more toward that.
They don't want that. I mean, you're right. The blockchain, George. You're right over the target. It is the solution. In integrating the blockchain into our voting systems, but integrating ID into our voting systems. But they don't want to fix it. They won't be able to cheat. They won't be able to install. It's clear that the people in Washington, D.C., the ones that don't want to vote for the SAVE Act, the people like John Thune, they're complicit in one way or another. Maybe John Thune's compromised. How do we know he doesn't have a bunch of...
John Thune, I saw him on Hannity a couple of weeks ago, and he was explaining why they couldn't get rid of the talking filibuster because there weren't enough. It's procedural. I bought the argument. I don't love John Thune, don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan. But he was explaining the procedural argument why he couldn't get the Senate to go in that direction. You had too many Republicans who weren't for getting rid of the talking filibuster. So there's really not much they can do if they don't have the 60 votes.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Michigan, George, because you've been hot to trot on this. Tell me what's going on here. Of course, the police chief is out publicly begging residents.
Yeah, Dearborn police chief begging residents to stay home because they have August 18th. They have a big council meeting, and they're saying a lot of fed up Americans plan to confront the Islamic Stronghold. Like I said, I've seen videos where there's even motorcycle gangs and stuff where they're getting together to getting fundraising. And they said there's going to be there's what it said in the video, a truck, with pigs going to have an accident and the pigs get loose all over the streets of Dearborn. I mean, it would be funny to see that, but what are you calling this? A Christian Crusader March? I mean, even if people go to the protest and they keep it peaceful, do you think the Dearborn Islamic jihadists are going to allow them to peacefully protest and not? You don't think there's going to be confrontations?
No, there's going to be confrontation.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I mean, look,
what are you guys doing on August 18th?
Is Michigan? Is this location Dearborn? Is this one of the places they're doing the call to prayer? Does anybody know?
Yes, sir.
This is where they do the call to prayer multiple times a day.
Yep.
And have you seen the newest announcement? They're going to spend this tremendous amount of money at different airports around the nation to put in the foot washing stations for the Muslim.
Again, we're assimilating to them. Why are we doing this crap?
And
that's next Tuesday.
It's kind of like DEI. It's kind of like the trans agenda. And now it's the Islamic agenda. I believe this, and I'm going to say this to the audience. I don't care whether you're a liberal or nonpartisan or a conservative watching our show, because we get everybody. Look, at the end of the day, you have to look at this for what it is. It's division and chaos. It's intent by the people, the powers that be. They have to keep us divided. They have to create divisional rhetoric, divisional concepts, divisional ideologies, divisional ideas, right? The concept that they're going to force us, you got to accept transgender.
You know what?
We got to have men and women's sports, and we've got to, the Islam religion, they've got to have their opportunity. All that stuff is made so there's conflict like this, because God forbid we all say, enough of this fucking bullshit.
Hold on.
I don't care what your political party is or your belief system is. It's us against government from here on out.
Listen, all these protesters
like that, it's over with. Okay?
All the protesters for this event, which is next Tuesday, Mike, we can take a road trip if you want. They should attach strips of bacon to themselves. It's like body armor. Put it on your shoulders, on your arms, things where they might want to grab you because they don't want to touch that. They say haram. Let me play the clip. Hold on.
I'm Chief Issa Shaheen, and we're aware that individuals and groups from outside our community may come to the Dearborn City Council meeting on Tuesday, August 18th. We've been monitoring the situation closely and coordinating with our state and federal partners. We have a plan in place, and you'll see an enhanced presence of police officers. But here's my direct ask of our residents. Please stay home. These groups that are coming here are coming for one reason, and that's to provoke a reaction and generate attention. If nobody shows up to react, they have nothing. The most powerful thing that this community can do is refuse to give them an audience. If you have business before council, you're welcome, and you'll be safe. We'll make sure of it. But if you're thinking about coming down just to confront these people, don't. That's exactly what they want, and it puts you at risk. Let our officers do their job. Don't let a handful of hateful outsiders define who we are. Dearborn is stronger than this. Thank you.
I wonder at a protest, you allowed to bring get a permit for food trucks? I mean, we could have just cooking bacon all day too. I mean, it'd be great, right?
Barbecue.
I'm telling you, if we drove there and just sold like bacon strips for the protesters, here, put this on.
George, you asked a very important question. You said, what kind of a name is Issa Shaheen? Now, here's what's interesting. The Dearborn police chief is a practicing Muslim. He made history when he was appointed to the position, becoming the first Muslim police chief in Dearborn's history. So he converted to the Islamic religion.
He did that just so he can be police chief, faggot.
Yeah.
He's a fake Muslim.
All right. Let's talk about these 5 current and former Texas city officials, including the mayor, were arrested for fraud. They were arrested on Wednesday for fraud.
Lance,
they allegedly mishandled hundreds or thousands of dollars that spanned 19 transactions. Go ahead. Because
Mike has to go soon. I was going to say, you want to do the next thing because I want to hear what he has to say about that.
Okay.
What's the next thing?
Next thing. Do you hear about this? About Trump authorizes private American firms to launch... No, not even that, Lance. What's the one with the video?
George, I don't know.
Where Trump is selling faster access. I'm sorry. Trump is selling faster access to his tweet, to his post on True Social, so you can bet on the markets. Have you heard about that?
No. What?
Okay. So True Social came up with an idea. Clearly, Trump was part of this idea that they were going to give early access through an API that you have to pay $100,000 a month for. And what it does is it gives you the top people on X, including Donald Trump or even Dan Scavino, and you get to see the posts before they go live. And for that, you pay $100,000 a month. I don't know how this isn't insider trading. Yeah. I don't know who gave, and I've got to tell you, the money grab by the Trump family is one of the biggest problems I have with the Trump administration.
Wait, are they even doing this though?
Yes. I checked it out. I thought it was bullshit.
Where do you buy it? Where do you pay for this? How do you do it?
Again, are they still doing it after Joe Rogan just called it out? Now, again, Joe doing his normal show. They're high as hell. They're smoking dope on the show. Even Joe was shocked. And then Joe said something, God, I got to stay closer to Trump. He was probably thinking right away, well, shoot, I should be doing this API thing, not paying the $100,000 a month, but trying to get inside access to what Trump's going to post. Because listen, if Trump says we're going to strike Iran tonight, you know what's going to happen to oil futures. If you knew that prior to him making that announcement, which we've talked about it. George, you said this the other day on the show, maybe not specifically about this, but you commented, why is he telegraphing what he's doing? Well, maybe he's telegraphing what he's doing because of this API insider trading idea, or maybe he's doing it because he wants to give the homies a hookup, or maybe it's because his donation machine is on fire, right? He's got that one woman. There was a big article in the Wall Street Journal calling her out for how she's going after all the money, and there isn't a lot of money left for other GOP candidates because Trump's just, you got to donate, you got to donate, you got to donate. Millions and millions of dollars going into his funding pool, which I don't know what's going to happen to that money because we know he can't run again, not legally anyway, at least at this moment, unless something changes. My point is, we should play the clip and then you guys should both comment, because I think this is criminal. I don't even know how who came up with it. Hey, here's a good idea. Why don't we sell the API for $100,000? We'll give early access, and then these people can play the stock market. It's an easy investment for $100,000. I mean, is True Social that desperate to claw in money that they're willing to participate in something this ugly? It appears to be yes, would be the answer to this. Let's play the clip, and then you guys both just jump in and tell me your thoughts.
Isn't he selling his Truth Social tweets to people, and then they can bet on it? What? I think, yeah.
He can bet on anything
He's selling
now.
access.
Yeah, selling access.
To what? He's selling faster access to his tweets, and then you can bet on it.
Bet on what is
on
Tweets
the markets. Because
wait a minute,
it's literally insider trading.
It's Kashi that you
Maybe
can bet
I'm
on
wrong,
everything. You can fix.
Yeah.
Wait a
You
minute,
fix your
is
own
that
bets.
real? You can get access to a tweet before he makes it, and then you could bet on that tweet. How's that legal?
We'll see.
Wait a minute, what is this? Trump sued over Truth Social advance access sale.
And I'm online in the Oval Office.
Who's
Just so
telling
fast.
him this is a good idea? I feel like I need
Nobody's
to be closer to
telling him
that.
shit.
$1,000 contracts.
Yeah, it's $100,000 you can get his early
Yo,
tweets.
Hey.
you know how crazy that is? $100,000 to get early tweets.
Hey, bet 200 on
That's
it.
literally
It must
crazy.
piss you off so much when he tweets like
Truth Social's
the guy
parent
from Twilight's
company,
a bitch.
Trump Media, announced in July it would offer subscribers to Truth API who paid up to $100,000 each month. Oh my God! Not even just $100,000 a year, each
Patreon?
month.
He's rigging it
For
in.
early access to market-moving posts from Trump and other people who use the platform.
Market
You
moving.
imagine you charge $1.2 million a year? He's just on a grab.
Oh, yeah.
And to get that, it's just people who are like,
But
yeah,
who?
we'll profit off that.
I just want to be in the meeting where they go, I got an idea.
And everyone looks at each other and is like,
Let's
should
do
we
it.
tell them no?
They go, look, everyone hates us
100
anyway.
grand.
Fuck it.
I bet it wasn't even Trump. It was probably some weasel who works in the administration. It's like, charge them $100,000 a month, and you post things, and they can move the market.
Yikes.
What are
Just
we
another
doing?
form of the same shit.
Well, here's
So I was thinking the same thing. I wonder if it's somebody like True Social, the media group that came up with this and then coordinated with one of the advisors or something to do this. Because legally, this is wrong beyond imagination. It's just fucking wrong. And I'm 100% against that. If
Morally and ethically, it's wrong.
Yeah.
You forget about legally. I mean, it's got. I would like to hear what Devin. Is it Devin Nunes still running Truth
No.
Social? No, who's running it now?
I don't even know.
No idea. But think about this. Think about maybe Trump hasn't put a post out in a couple of days, right? And this group comes to him and say, hey, the people at the API are hoping you're going to post something, you know. Now remember, they're going to use Polymarket. They're going to use
Kevin
Kalshi,
McKern is
stock
the
market.
interim.
Imagine if he gets a little nudge like, hey, we need an API post. And Trump knows they're getting ready to do something. I don't care what it is. They're going to rule on the SAVE Act. They're going to do it. Because again, you can bet on anything on Polymarket and Kalshi.
Mm-hmm.
Those prediction markets make it even wider. It's not just stock plays. Now, when you talk about oil futures, you talk about mineral futures, you talk about anything, right? Big contracts with Boeing or whatever. He can come out and say, I want to congratulate Boeing on coming up with this technology and we've agreed to do a major contract.
Right.
Whatever he comes
Right.
out with. Now, here's the ugly part. How about all the big banking firms? $100,000 a month for them is nothing to get access to something that they could deploy, instantly and make money on puts, calls, options. I just got to throw that in there. Mike, go ahead. I didn't mean to step on you.
No, it was Kevin. It's Kevin McGurn now.
Yeah, he's
stepped in when.
He's the interim CEO, but I don't think he's going to be interim CEO for long, though. Not doing
No.
loud shit like that.
He was at Hulu, Vivo, and T-Mobile US. So now, but he's been advising them since 2024. So I'd love to see somebody get an interview and find out where this idea came from, and if it was even was it implemented? Is it happening already?
They got sued for it.
Okay.
There's litigation going on, and I don't know the basis of the litigation. I did not read the lawsuit because I thought maybe this was BS.
You know
And
what
then I
though?
checked it
No
out,
one's
and it turned out
asked
it's
Trump
real.
about it though. That's what gets me. No one's questioning him like to bring it up. Nobody's even brought it up in I don't think in press briefing, have they?
I don't think
know,
so.
but-
He's the majority stakeholder. So
Yeah, and the nudge. Hey, can we get an API post today? We need a little API. It's a little something. Like I just think, and you tell me in the audience. I want to hear from the chat on this. We're not getting access to this. You got to spend $100,000 a month. I mean, if I had somebody backing us, I'd do it for the audience, and I'd give them. We'd put the API post directly. We'd cover it instantly on the show. You'd be tracking us, and Rimble would be like, "Oh, we got an API coming out." I mean, But the point is, think about this. This to me, it's kind of like Trump meme coins, Melania meme coins, Trump watches, Trump. The capitalization of what he's done, and I know he's gone up in billions of dollars. That's why he keeps talking about the economy being so amazing. I don't remember his net worth up. Last time I think I looked, he was up like $2 or $3 billion.
mm-hmm.
I find this really, really horrible. And, and I think the administration and I think Donald Trump needs to just fucking stop. Because I don't care what base you're coming from. It doesn't matter whether you're a conservative or liberal. All of us think this is bullshit because we're not getting access. We're not spending $100,000 a month for this API. I mean, we ought to get all the podcasts together and have everybody chip in, and then we all get access to this API because it's a license to steal. It's ridiculous because he's got just too much information. He knows what Pete Hegseth is going to do because he's telling him to do it. This is horrible. And this is more of why I'm having a problem at this point, because not only did I not get transparency, accountability, and consequences, now I got this guy that's on a cash grab 24/7, 365. This is fucking ridiculous. I mean, you guys tell me if you think any different. Tell us in the chat what you guys think. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, boys and girls, I got to run. You guys can.
All right, Mike. Thanks for wrapping up today, man. We appreciate it. Now, don't forget, you guys, one of the big drills today. George, do you want to keep going, or do you want to wrap it up?
No, we can wrap it up. It's Friday.
Okay. So listen, if you love this show, please take a minute, go follow the Dr. Michael Schwartz Show, get him some followers. It's the same thing for us. Hit that follow button, hit the like, hit a comment. Let us know if you enjoyed the show, and follow us on social media. Mike, what's your social media on X? Where do they follow you over there?
MJ Schwartz 1 on X.
Okay, so make sure you follow us. All those follows matter. Reposting the content, short form, long form, use it. We're never coming after you. We want you to do it to grow your own social media. You can take the short form and use it just on your own content. Talk about this show or that show, exposing. The creator program has changed over at X, so it might be a way taking original content, cut it up any way you want, use it. We love you guys for tuning in today, and hit that follow button. If you can do this paid subscription for $5, fantastic. You can do a Rumble Rant tip. Great on the way out the door. And, of course, it's Friday, so we want you to enjoy your weekend. Mike, last words from you, and then George.
Great show. Great chat. I will see you guys on Monday. And Lance, I apologize again. George, thanks for filling in for me, buddy.
No. Quick question, Mike.
Yeah.
So, did you watch our episode here where I gave a rebuttal to your video that you put up crying?
No, I didn't see it. You told me about it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah. Motherfucker. Nobody yelled at you, first of all.
Well, you got a very
Nobody yelled at you. And I didn't get upset. We're having conversation. You sound like a liberal. Seriously. You sound like a liberal, Mike.
I think the point was you were confrontational about the pork roll versus Taylor.
I was
ham.
just spitting out facts and truth.
It's pork roll.
See, liberal's the one that says it's confrontational. That's a liberal move, bro. Don't be like that. You should watch the episode. You might learn something on that. It's in the beginning.
We need Taylor Ham as a sponsor for this show, because this topic has come up a couple of times now, and I don't know. We're gonna have to figure this out. The sandwiches in New York, we never had that issue.
Don't go to New York. We're sticking to Jersey right now. It's Taylor Ham pork roll, bro.
I know the New Yorkers don't have this issue. You guys are gonna have to battle out in New Jersey. Maybe we need a UFC ring. Maybe it's time to throw down the gauntlet, and maybe
pork
you guys
roll
each
versus Taylor ham.
But by the way, Taylor does sell ham, and they do sell the pork roll. So I don't know. You guys will have to sort that one out. All right, we love you guys. We want you to have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget to tune in for the Big Mig Talk radio show. It'll be George and myself. That'll be over the weekend. You can find us on Liberty News Radio. All right.
Mike, thanks so much. Love you. Love you guys. Everybody out there. Peace. Have a blessed weekend. See you Monday.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar. the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. Don't leave your future to chance. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now at prepperbar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit warriordogfoundation.org.